friends, we're on day 20 of our 31 Days of Horror Movie Villains, and today we're talking about Jigsaw himself, John Kramer. John Kramer is a very interesting person because in his mind, he thinks he's doing things for the greater good. He does a lot of things out of what he believes is a moral obligation to get people to appreciate their life. But I mean, he is a murderer. He doesn't think he's a murderer per se because he gives people the opportunity to get out of his traps or his game. He puts people in these little scenarios, gives them the opportunity to do something terrible to themselves to escape. And, it's their choice whether or not to do it. In reality, he's kind of like torturing people and unaliving them, maybe indirectly, but he's the one that put them there. So John Kramer, he was a civil engineer, and before he became Jigsaw, he was in a very devoted relationship with his wife. His wife was pregnant. They were very excited about having their son. He was working on some projects for low-income families. He was doing some good in the world. But his wife, who worked at a rehabilitation center, he thought she was being a little bit too easy on people, maybe not helping them in the way he thought they should be helped. And one terrible night, his wife got attacked in the rehab facility. Someone opened a door, it hit her in the stomach, and she ended up losing the baby. And this sent John Kramer into a spiral. He became completely obsessed with revenge and basically teaching a lesson to this guy that did this to his wife. So one day he kidnaps this man, puts him through one test. The guy actually ends up surviving that trap, but then he pushes him into another one and he loses that fight. John Kramer learns hey, I kind of like doing this. I want to teach more people about what's right and wrong and the sanctity of life, because he sees people, there are people that he deems as not great people that are wasting their life away doing criminal behavior and stuff. So he wants to put them through these terrible tests to give them the opportunity to choose life or not. And his hope is that once they survive, they are able to go out into the world and appreciate life, basically spread his message throughout the world. He uses Billy the Puppet to communicate to people throughout the games, as he calls it. Usually he communicates through a video message or an audio message. We also know that John Kramer has been diagnosed with cancer. In order to do these elaborate schemes, obviously he needs help. So he basically collects different accomplices, like Amanda. We meet Amanda in the first movie. She's the first victim that survives one of his traps, and so she is actually very grateful for the experience. Many other people that he kind of collects along the way do his bidding. Basically got the name Jigsaw. They'd find puzzle pieces out of his victim, and he became known as the Jigsaw Killer. John Kramer basically has a god complex because he's made himself the judge, jury, and executioner. He basically judges people based on their actions, based on the way they live their life, and kind of decides whether they deserve what he's about to give them or not. And in certain situations, it does seem like he's kind of remorseful or he shows some sort of empathy. And again, a lot of the people in these traps are actually not really good people. But his morality is kind of self-serving because he also puts people in traps that might be detectives trying to prove that he's the killer. Or so sometimes the line for morality kind of is swayed by his own wants and needs. Overall, he has about 80 to 90 victims. John Kramer ends up dying at the end of Saw 3, but we see him in multiple other Saw installments. But he's definitely a psychotic murderer that thinks very highly of himself and his own morality. And